the body found in the mountains, 8 different names. Why was his identity wanted to be erased? On a cold, misty morning in 1970, a mysterious corpse discovered in one of Norway's desolate valleys carved its name into the dusty pages of history as the Isdal Woman. Found alongside burnt passport fragments and strikingly suspicious details, this woman, equipped with 40 fake identities, seemed to be part of an international espionage tale. This video sheds light on the unknown details, compelling theories, and psychological repercussions of the case, drawing viewers into the depths of this enigmatic story. In the autumn of 1970, in one of Norway's remote and isolated regions, a body was discovered shrouded in thick fog. That day, the local inhabitants were met with an unusual silence and an overwhelming melancholic atmosphere that covered the sky. The corpse was found alongside carefully burned passport fragments and incinerated identity documents. The burn marks on the passport suggested a deliberate attempt to erase any trace of identity, as if this person was meticulously erasing the last remnants of a life left behind. This discovery led to the launch of an immediate investigation. Authorities reported that the woman possessed 40 different false identities, suggesting that this case was far from a simple tragedy. Instead, it hinted at a tangled web of intrigue, possibly linked to an espionage operation that had escaped the attention of world governments. The body of the woman, now known as the Isdal Woman, underwent extensive forensic examination. The effects of the harsh Norwegian winds had partially burned her, yet fragments of meticulously incinerated passports and identity papers remained on her. Medical examiners discovered unusual tissue structures, signs of sudden exposure to extreme cold, and most intriguingly, faint traces of burnt documents with a lingering scent. The burned pages of the passport were cut in a precise manner and methodically destroyed. Experts speculated that these documents were deliberately erased, either by the woman herself or by those around her. The signatures and seals found on the remnants of the passport suggested that she possessed an extraordinary skill in the art of identity alteration. One of the most striking revelations in the investigation was the presence of 40 different fake identity numbers linked to the Isdal Woman. Each identity seemed to leave traces of different countries. Some referred to leading Western state institutions, while others appeared to originate from more obscure and enigmatic sources. These fabricated identities exposed numerous mysteries surrounding her past. Among the intriguing documents, there were passport numbers from Norway and various European nations, residence permits, and even some papers containing references to the United States and the Middle East. Researchers speculated that this suggested her involvement in international affairs, possibly as a government-backed intelligence operative. Behind each of these identities lay a carefully orchestrated plan, potentially involving multiple individuals in an elaborate identity-altering operation. At first, the burn marks on the woman's passport were interpreted as evidence of a suicide attempt or an intentional act of self-erasure. However, as new details emerged, this assumption was turned on its head. Experts argued that the specific stamps and seals on the burned documents were deliberately erased, suggesting they were part of a well-planned operation rather than a desperate personal act. This revelation sparked deep curiosity among those following the case. While it was possible that she had attempted to conceal her own identity in death, the alternative theory, that this was part of a large-scale intelligence operation, became even more compelling. The charred documents bore subtle imprints, carefully arranged letter combinations, and signatures, leaving behind a puzzle waiting to be deciphered. Another notable detail in the woman's documents was the presence of cryptic codes. Some experts argued that these codes, perhaps written in an unknown language or encryption technique, contained clues about her past, her missions, or even the circumstances of her death. Among the passport fragments, there were sequences of letters, debated to be either M or W, along with other mysterious inscriptions that defied easy explanation. Some of these codes reference the poetry of Omar Khayyam, while others seemed completely random. Investigators spent countless hours attempting to decode these messages, only to find themselves drawn further into an ever-deepening enigma. From the moment the Isdal Woman case emerged, it resonated far beyond forensic reports. It stirred subconscious fears within society, forcing people to confront their own anxieties, solitude, and the mystery of human existence. The eerie Norwegian darkness, the remnants of burnt documents, and the enigmatic codes created an unsettling atmosphere that deeply impacted those who followed the case. Every detail, whether the charred edges of the passport or the cryptic messages within the documents, reawakened long-buried traumas and forgotten fears. As a result, viewers found themselves immersed in a story that was as much about human nature as it was about an unsolved crime. For decades, researchers, journalists, and even former intelligence officials have examined the case. Investigations carried out in Norway's cold valleys have fueled numerous theories, some of which have reverberated across the international stage. Some sources claim the woman was a high-ranking intelligence agent who orchestrated espionage missions using her 40 fake identities. Others argue that she had deliberately erased her past to escape something or someone, potentially even leaving behind the burnt passport fragments as a final message in her mysterious demise. Although many of these theories are supported by pieces of evidence, the true nature of the case remains an unsolved mystery. Viewers are left pondering one lingering question. Who is this woman really? The story of the woman with a burned passport and 40 fake identities began in the cold, isolated landscapes of Norway in 1970, evolving into a saga of espionage, possible suicide, and unanswered secrets. Despite extensive research, her identity has never been fully uncovered. Even with modern technology, the case remains shrouded in ambiguity, leaving audiences to grapple with the profound curiosity and fear that come with the unknown. Each new clue and theory only deepens the mystery, leaving more questions than answers. The woman with the burned passport. The 40 fake identities of the Isdal Woman is a story filled with traces of an unknown woman, a puzzle waiting to be solved, and secrets lingering in the shadows of history. This video does not merely present cold facts. It explores the depths of human curiosity, fear, and despair. Every detail, every burnt passport, every false identity, forms a riddle that connects the past and future, inviting viewers to reflect, speculate, and uncover their own theories. Remember, some mysteries may never be fully solved. This tale does not just recount a crime. It illuminates the darkest and most enigmatic corners of human nature.